guys, we're here in KVN, Papua New Guinea, and we need some fuel. So we've come over to the beach here and we've got some drums of diesel getting delivered. So we're gonna have to figure out how to get the drums off the truck into the boat, and then from the boat into my boat. I was just saying, I hope they don't stir up the drums. Oh, it's got a little filter, that's good.
So we are here in remote Papua New Guinea, and there's no such thing as a marina to pull up to and grab fuel, so we had to make do with whatever we could get our hands on to prepare for our passage up to Indonesia. The resort we were anchored in front of had kindly organised the same drums that they use for their generators, and I was grateful just to be getting any fuel at all, after all of the motoring that we had to do.
You ever felt fuel like this before?
Yeah, in Venezuela. Getting dodgy ass fuel there. It's like, I can't remember exactly, it was like 10 cents a litre or something ridiculous.
The pickup for the fuel pump was just off the bottom of the drum, which wouldn't have made much difference seeing as the drums had been tossed around for the last half hour anyway, but I was happy to see an inline filter in the system before it went into the boat. It's times like this that I wish I had made my own pre-filtering system, as it's becoming more common for us to be in situations like this.
Tough?
Nah. It's hot though. It has to start raining halfway through the process. Last thing you want is water in the fuel.
So once the rain had passed, we managed to bunker 600 litres of fuel in about 30 minutes, which is surprisingly fast. Before our engines we have primary Raycore filters, as well as the secondary filters on the engine, so I wasn't overly worried about it all, especially because the resort has been using this fuel for over 25 years.
That's how you fuel up in PNG.
We were actually going to clear out of the country today, because there is nowhere convenient to do so west of here.
Going in the bus!
This is the family van.
And we were also going to top up with gasoline while we were borrowing Sean's van. We had been here for a while now, just working and surfing, so we felt like we knew the area pretty well at this point. Our plan was to do one more very remote stop in Papua New Guinea before sailing to Indonesia, so we made sure we had enough food to last us a few weeks off-grid. There was only going to be 4 of us this trip, which is a lot easier to provision for than the 6 to 8 crew that we're normally accustomed to. Clearing out of the country was as easy as clearing in, and without further ado, we were ready to head out to the very remote Hermit Islands. But there was one last thing we had to do before leaving KVN, the infamous betelnut.
So we're about to get on the betelnut. We've been here for a while now, but we've never had it. It's like this nut and it makes all your teeth go red, and not really sure what's going to happen, but we'll give it a go.
A lot of the locals chew this thing. Jono's connoisseur. What have we got here?
That's the betelnut. That's the mustard stick. It's like a vanilla, but it's more different. The last one is the lime
That's lime powder.
powder.
This
It's not a cocaine,
very
but
illegal.
it's a lime. Not really spicy, but it's hot and like burns. Can cook your gum, or even you might lose your teeth as well.
Lose your teeth.
Yes.
How many teeth you got left?
Me?
Yeah.
All teeth still with me.
So you're doing it right.
Yeah.
What happens if you do it wrong? You can get a ulcer.
Sometimes you'll get a cancer, or sometimes cancer won't happen like straight away if you own one heart. No.
Okay.
It happens when you chew and chew, never brush your teeth and get them clean. So what I do, I eat betelnut and then I go back home. I brush my teeth.
Yeah.
And then I go to sleep. In the morning I brush my teeth, come back and then put more nut in.
How many do you have a day?
It depends on if you got coin, you can eat 20 a day or something. Yeah. But there's no coin, you can eat 5. But more than 5, I'll say that,
Yeah.
to boost you up.
And what are we
Something.
expecting here? It's a stimulant, so we feel a little buzz.
You'll feel a little bit dizzy, like you already been through the beer, sweat. But before, it's the thing that you don't have to swallow the juice.
You spit the juice.
Yeah, spit the juice out, and then you can like slowly you'll feel the reaction of the nut.
So don't swallow.
Don't swallow the juice or even the nut.
Okay, I'll have
Don't
to get
swallow
used
it.
to that bit.
So what you do, put the nut in your mouth, crack it open. It's the nut where you're going to chew sideways.
Shit, this is a big one.
That bit don't taste real good.
So what you do, put the nut straight into your mouth and then mash it up. And then you'll feel that there's a juice inside the mouth. Spit it out. And then when you chew it up,
Tastes disgusting.
Like what? Oh.
He's loving it.
Smile for us.
It's everywhere.
dip a little bit of the mustard stick into the lime, so a little bit of the lime, and then put them straight into your
On the sea, not your mouth.
the nut, like, and then you crack them up.
Tastes disgusting. My whole mouth is numb.
You want to drink? Crack them. Little bit of the lime. One more bite. Little bit of the mustard stick. Not too much of the mustard stick. Little bit.
Oh! Wow.
I bet for you more. My watch says my heart rate is 160 beats a minute. Is that normal? If I put it under my tongue.
Alright.
You can't control the.
Nah,
This is it. The old gag reflex.
yeah, not for me.
I feel like vomiting.
Really?
Yeah, it's gross.
You'll feel it. Yeah.
Really dizzy.
Look at his smile.
A little bit of reaction.
This is how you spend your day, feeling like this.
But we get used to it, so.
It feels really good. I like it.
So that betelnut just made me feel really dizzy. I didn't enjoy it. I spat it out after about 10 minutes. Ryan loved it, and Jamie couldn't get it down. So mixed reactions from the boys.
I guess I've been looking at all the locals over the last couple of months and their teeth and everything. And when it's in their mouth, it's like, oh, and it's just put me off thinking that I was going to turn out like that. And I just couldn't, in my brain, just couldn't stomach it.
10 out of 10 would do it again. It was
TripAdvisor rating.
It was nice and clean, you know. It was. I keep saying if you drank 4 cups of coffee but didn't have that anxious feeling, that's what it felt like. I felt I had energy. I felt good.
By the way, this is Ryan. He's one of our patrons, and he's been here for a few weeks with us now. What's the plan? Come sailing with us?
What's the plan? I think the plan is that I have no plan other than to follow your plan, and your plan sounds pretty good.
This is the best kind of crew that we can have. He's just got an open schedule. So you've got no sailing experience,
Only YouTube voyeuristic experience. That's it.
and you're going to be in the market for your own catamaran possibly one day.
Yeah, hopefully sooner rather than later. I spent enough time looking at them. I hope to be able to afford to buy one soon.
So let's learn how to sail. Let's go. We've just been hanging out here. This is Nusa Island Retreat, and basically just been working, editing videos, and surfing. And it's been so nice. But we have to get moving now because the northwest monsoon season is about to kick in. And when it does, the winds come from the northwest and the current does a 180. Right now there's a 2-knot current going with us, but any week now it's gonna flip and make it almost impossible to get to Indonesia from here. So it's 900 miles to a place called Biak in Indo, and that's where we're gonna clear, and we're already speaking with an agent there. So yeah, right now there's little to no wind, and that means the seasons are changing. So it's a real bummer because this place has been really cool and fun to hang out here, but time to move on. And next stop is Indonesia, but there's some outer islands we're going to stop at on the way, which apparently is some people's favorite place in the world, I've heard. So we made our way through the reefs of Kavieng towards the Hermit Islands, which are well and truly off the beaten track. It's a 350-mile offshore sail and a first for Ryan, so I started teaching him about watchkeeping on a sailboat. We're not actually going to our destination, see, because we can't point much higher. Well, now we can. It's gone to 50. So I'm going
go another 10 degrees.
It was unusual for us to only have 4 crew, but was also quite pleasant at the same time not having so many people on the boat. I truly do love sharing our adventures with other people, but every now and then it's nice for us to not to have to worry about feeding 8 people, and also enjoying a lot more space to ourselves on board. Anyway, we had a bit of wind with us as we left, so we sailed on out of there, but the rest of the passage consisted of putting the sail up and down non-stop as the wind came and went continuously. It was definitely a calm passage with such little wind, but unfortunately we were burning loads of that fuel we had just bunkered in Kavieng. So when we eventually got a nice 10-knot breeze behind us, we seized the opportunity.
I'm glad you're filming that one, Brett.
That was a smooth one.
Yeah.
Like butter.
That is a very impressive sail. I have to say that, I had like a pretty big moment of joy when it popped out there. After 12 years of watching this all happen on YouTube, it's pretty cool to be sitting here and doing it in person.
What speed did I say we would be doing?
4.5.
I was optimistic that there would be moments of sailing, this being one of them, but I would doing 5 knots. 5 knots, burning no fuel right now. So we're so close to the equator. This monsoon season is around the corner. There's been no wind forecasted out here at all. So anything like this that we get, we'll take it. Just a nice gentle 10-knot breeze behind us, spinnaker's up and we're doing 5. Not bad at all.
Ryan was taken to this whole sailing thing very well, but let's get to know him a little better, shall we?
My name is Ryan. I'm a Canadian coming to the boat via Costa Rica, where I live now. I'm a patron of the channel and a avid, perhaps even obsessive watcher of sailing YouTube channels, especially this one. I've been dreaming about this life for a long time, but I've never actually sailed before. So I've landed up on this boat of yours to test out the dream, to see if all of my obsessive voyeuristic habits over the last 12 years can translate into real life. And it feels surreal to step out from behind my phone and into this life, and to have this sail go up for the first time is a pretty magical feeling. I'm reaching the end of working life. I don't know exactly when that will be, but for now I've taken a sabbatical from work at age 50. And after spending so much time in the workforce, I was an entrepreneur for many years, and I'd like to think that I achieved some measure of success. It is very humbling to come here and be starting all over again, because I don't know anything other than what I watched on YouTube about sailing.
Well, it was awesome having Ryan on board, who we also have a mutual friend in common, who, if you're a fan from way back, may remember Helena, who actually came sailing with us for a few months back in the day. It's funny, Ryan has been studying the catamaran market for years now, and actually knows a lot more about all the different brands and features of cats than I do. So even though he had never sailed before, I found myself learning from him about so many things he had seen on YouTube. But in saying that, experiencing something like the majestic gliding of dolphins beneath your bow in person is something that's difficult to portray on YouTube. We were soon keen to test out other things that Ryan had not seen on YouTube yet.
We've just done a workout. We're going to go for a swim to cool down, but we've got the spinnaker up. We're going 4.4 knots. So I'm curious as to whether we would be able to hold ourselves against that or not. So Ryan's going to try it out. Your pants tied on?
That's a lot of current.
How's that?
Okay, so it turns out that if you fell overboard and managed to grab a line, you would indeed be able to pull yourself back towards the boat doing 4.4 knots. Although Ryan is in better shape than most, so I had to try this for myself.
Well done.
Yep, it really wasn't easy, and I'm lucky I made it back with my shorts still on, but it's definitely doable. So with that, we had finally arrived at the Hermit Islands. I had spoken to 3 different cruisers who had been here recently, who had told me that it's a must-stop location on your way to Indonesia, so we were here to check out what all the fuss was about.
So we've arrived. We've just crept in through the pass there. Super wide, super easy. And now we're inside an atoll. Our 2 buddy boats decided to stay an extra day in Kavieng. So they're about 120 miles behind us. So we got this place all to ourselves. Don't know too much about it. I just heard the locals here are
amazingly friendly. So we've got a bunch of stuff to give them, or trade with them maybe. But the passage has been pretty good. Lots of squalls, not much wind.
I reckon I'm glad to be here. Last night I got the worst squall. For last night I got 23 knots, true. Wasn't too bad. We had 2 reefs in, so we were kind of ready for it. But yeah, it'd be good to stop and have a little break and see what this place has got.
So first sail, first passage, first watch, first night watch, first atoll. Life is good.
What's it funny like to see land after 3 days?
I could have kept going if I'm being honest. I was loving the rhythm of passage, and I felt like I was just kind of getting into it. Are we day 3 now, I think? I don't know. But I loved it out there. But I'm stoked to be here. I mean, I've never been in an atoll before, and here I am.
Whenever we arrive at a new place from coming offshore, the dogs' noses just go insane. I guess they smell all the fresh smells of foliage and trees and stuff off the land, so. What do you smell, buddy? What do you smell?
It was an overcast day, so we had to just imagine what this place looked like on a beautiful sunny afternoon, which wasn't hard because it was stunning even on a rainy day like today. The weather also made it a little hard to use eyeball navigation through all the uncharted reefs, so we took it slow and steady. I'm navigating with Google Maps here a little bit. The charts are very inaccurate. It says I'm on the reef on the chart, but it's 30 feet deep. I think there's bommies in here, so I'm trying to find some sand. What a beautiful spot though, wow. Anchored on a nice little sandy patch here in 20 feet of water. Bommies over there, but I think we're good. The sun did eventually come out to reveal the beauty of the Hermit Islands. We've already got a gentleman coming to speak with us. What's your name?
My name is Silas.
Silas.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Wow.
You grow that on the island?
Yes. I planted here.
You planted it here?
Yeah.
What else do you have here for vegetables?
Yes. Capsicum, eggplant, bean, and banana, and the cassava.
How many people live here?
This one is only 3 family. My house is over there.
Very cool. We had heard that clothing was very hard to come by here, so we traded Silas some clothes for a few fresh vegetables.
This one's good for the sun.
He gave us permission to go on one of the small uninhabited islands to let the dogs loose, which is exactly what they did.
What a spot.
We normally take the dogs to the beach at least once a day, but after being at sea for 3 days, they were definitely ready for a good run. The next morning, Silas came round to do some more trading. We have a mask and snorkel for you.
There you go. Okay. Thanks.
Can we see your old one? Okay. Now you can equalize.
Yes.
With the other one, you can't hold your nose.
Yes.
Trading is a huge part of the culture here, and actually quite crucial in their survival.
Wow.
They become so resourceful with everything, like this homemade spear gun he had made out of bits and bobs he had traded in the past.
Very good. Wow.
He insisted on getting us some lobsters to trade, so of course we obliged. I never want to look a gift horse in the mouth, but the lobsters seem very lifeless.
Maybe there's a cray pot over there.
And we all know what happens if you eat seafood of the less fresh variety.
Hope they're fresh.
Early this morning, I watched him paddle out across the reef there. He spent some time
That way?
That way. And he was on the other side of the island for about an hour, and then he paddled directly over to us. He had lobster in his boat. So I think they're fresh as they can get.
They're not moving. We'll find out if you get the runs. Even though we're in absolute paradise, the boat jobs are never ending. And the latest one arose when we found winch oil all over the table.
Hey guys, so yesterday we worked out that our main winch has an oil leak. So we've pulled out the cupboard where it sits up in, and we've noticed that it's leaking through. So now we have to pull it out and see where the actual oil leak's coming from. It's not in a very nice space to pull out, so it's going to be quite tricky. So let's see if we can get it.
Okay, just got it down. The seal in there is totally munched, so rainwater's coming down, and the seal on the top of this motor has totally failed. So water's getting in and dispersing the oil. So we took the gearbox apart just to confirm the issue, and lo and behold, we found some water in the gearbox. Unfortunately, this is a seal that I don't have a spare of, so we had no choice but to just put it back together. I'm gonna have to order some spares, but where to send them to, well, that's another story. Anyway, thanks for watching till the end, guys. We're here every Sunday if you want to subscribe, and we'll see you next week where I get bitten by a local dog. So I just grabbed him, and I threw him in the dinghy, and then he attacked me, and he grabbed a hold of my arm. He like got me there and this side.
When's your last tetanus shot?
And I was like 8,
Perfect.
maybe less.